We're on.
We are
Yes.
on. Yes, indeed.
Joe Rayo, FiOS 1 News, Lower Hudson Valley.
You're Joe Rayo? I always wanted to meet you. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
I was introducing your personage.
I'm Joe Rayo. This
Right.
is Joe Chiappi.
Right, and you know what? The lighting is a little harsh tonight. Let me turn that down.
Oh,
just
dear
a little
me.
bit more.
Yes. Joe Chiappi, FiOS 1 News, New
Now,
Jersey.
now the lighting's not harsh. We are.
At Long Island.
That's right. All right.
You want to tell them why we're both wearing jackets? We normally don't wear jackets.
Because we're in this igloo. It's 61 in here.
61 degrees, folks.
Actually, the thermostat is set for 69, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't know
but
either.
Something that should be turned on isn't. Anyway,
on a night when we have frost advisories for lower Westchester,
right?
We have 61-degree temperatures.
Right, so we're living the part.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got this pending Noreaster for later Friday night and Saturday. It's funny, Joe. You and I last night were sitting here, and I had said that it didn't really look all that bad, and not that it looks bad now, but it did start overnight on the weather model runs, and even during the day today. I guess the way I would put it is, it looks a little a bit more nasty,
right?
For Friday night and Saturday,
yeah.
and now we've got, the coastal flood watches are up, and it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a rough go for a little while.
We were discussing that perhaps the first raindrops arrive around or before midnight tomorrow night, intensify as we move into the after midnight hours, and then the first half of Saturday look indeed really nasty out there with strong winds, 40 mile per hour or more in gusts, moderate to possibly heavy rain, thunderstorms. Now, we didn't mention this yesterday, but on the maps that I looked at today, there is a very tight concentric area of omega, or atmospheric energy, that passes right over the tri-state area. And during the winter season, when we see this, sometimes we talk about thunder snow. And now, we're not going to see snow. I know a lot of you are snow lovers out there and are getting, what did he say about snow? No. What I'm saying is that when this package of energy passes over us early on Saturday, some of you who like to sleep in on Saturday, past 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you may be rudely awakened by a crack or two of thunder or a flash or two of lightning on Saturday. But everything is going to be moving. It's so progressive, Joe, that the area of atmospheric energy is so significant, it's so tight, that it literally pushes up and out of here by noon or 2 o'clock. So by later in the day Saturday, it may not be all that bad out there. We may just have a couple of lingering showers, and there might be a shower even lingering into Sunday morning. But by far and away, if you have anything to do outdoors this weekend, do it Sunday, because Saturday is going to be a mess.
I also think Sunday is definitely going to be the better of the 2 weekend days. I think it'll be dry. It might not be picture perfect. We might have cloud issues. I still think we'll see some brightening or maybe a couple of breaks of sun. But as far as rain is concerned, this should be done during the first part of Saturday night, with the last of any showers going out. And I think Sunday should be dry all the way through.
We have a surprise. We're talking right now, and of course, it's Thursday, and you don't want to get too detailed on a forecast for Saturday, except to just simply say in a word, nor'easter or stormy.
Right.
But it would not be surprising, and sometimes you get this with some very vigorous systems, that the thing moves in, moves through, and then suddenly in the afternoon, out of nowhere, you get a rift in the cloud, and some breaks of sunshine.
Sure.
And like,
where
is
did
this?
this
They said it was going to be a terrible day. Look,
right.
the sun
Well,
is out.
Yeah.
And the sun disappears, and then we get a little bit backlash.
With where the low is going and how it's tracking, it wouldn't shock me. Now, the rain tonight on the radar is showing up across much of the southeast and over northern Florida, and it actually extends quite a ways to the north and west. This almost looks like there's this is the upper feature. Some of this is the upper feature swinging around. You got the surface low that's down in the Gulf, and all of that's going to play out to the northeast. But it's the area that's in the southeast that really is, what's going to bring the rain here for us. No. I'm thinking of 1 to 2 inches. That sounds good to you.
Yeah, 1 to 2. Now, how much of that do you think is what was left of Willa, if any?
Well,
again, earlier in the week, some forecasters, not here.
No, I know.
Some forecasters were saying, now look at Willa. Now this is going to play a big role in our weather. For
I think the big difference, what happened was when Willa went inland, where it went inland, that area of Mexico's got a lot of mountains in there.
Right.
Some of the moisture made it over to the other side. The vast majority of it got wrung out west of the mountains. So it's not as if you had a remnant low with some solid remnant tropical moisture.
Right.
Some of it came in, but I don't see anything here, and neither does the Weather Service for that matter, because there are no flood watches up through any of these areas.
Right.
If this were truly tropically induced rain from the remnants of a tropical storm or hurricane, I'm sure we would probably be seeing some flash flooding going on. There really has not been, and at least for now, from the last I looked, there weren't any kind of flood watches or flood warnings up for the southeastern part of the United States. It never got involved. Right. It just never did.
Or you might say 1 out of every 40 drops that comes down tomorrow night and Saturday.
Okay. Exactly.
At one time belonged to former Category 5 Hurricane Willa.
So here's the GFS today, and so you guys can see the date on the top. This was the late afternoon. Whoops. What did I do here?
The 18Z run.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. Hang on.
Well, that happened.
All right. So.
Would you like to go back to the old LFM 40 years ago and color it with
no, I would not.
Big banana pins?
No. So here's your surface low. The high to the north is holding it back for Friday.
Right.
So that actually we'll probably see a fight on Friday for a while as the high clouds try to come in and the drier air from the high tries to keep them back.
Right.
But eventually it just gets overpowered, of course. I think this is really more of a function of the fact that the higher pressures to the north are stronger. It's not so much that the low is more intense, but that the high is stronger, and as a result, you get the pressure gradient seems a little bit tighter with the last few runs.
Right. It's really a push come to shove thing. Now this is for
this is Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Now again, when I mentioned the possibility for thunderstorms, I'm not talking about the kind that reach like 60,000 or 50,000 feet into the atmosphere that you see in the late spring and summer. This would be what we call low top convection.
Right.
This would be like 20 to 30,000 feet, and you get these rumbles and occasionally hard claps of thunder, and that's basically what you sometimes get. The benchmark of a situation like this, where you have this squeeze play, so to speak, is sometimes when you get the areas. In fact, interesting, Joe, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the Storm Prediction Center. They have a line or an area right along the southeast and mid-Atlantic coast of possible thunder for tomorrow.
Right, we can bring it up.
And then on Saturday, the day of the storm, all of a sudden that area of thunder is in southeast New England. So you look at that and you say, well, we miss out. Well, I don't really think we're going to miss out. I think there's a fair chance for a few hours.
Here's the risk area.
Right, this is for tomorrow.
For tomorrow, and with that narrow, slight risk of severe off the coastal Carolinas, which is where the low is tracking. That's where the warm front's kind of lining up.
And then I'll go
to the next three.
Boom.
Yeah, southeastern New England.
So now what happened? We miss out on this. I don't think we're going to miss.
This might wind up getting adjusted. I was looking at some of the other models, the RPM model, the NAM model, and even the GFS. Actually, where do you think all this heavy rain that's being produced here in the yellows and dark reds? That's got to be thunderstorm induced, I would think, or at least some of it's going to be convective.
Right.
The heavy rain starts to shift northward during the afternoon, and this is where it should finally, after about 2 or 3 o'clock, like you said, it should start to it should be winding down and done.
And like I said last night, this is kind of like the eye of the storm. By 0Z or by 8 p.m. on Saturday, the center of the low is over us. But look, where's the gradient? We're basically in a quiet zone. So anticipate a rock'em sock'em Saturday morning, and then during the afternoon, that hopefully will wind on down. And then after that, as you point out, Joe, I've been pointing out for the last couple of days, it really doesn't look like all that much to be concerned with for Sunday.
Right.
In fact, I changed the wording of the forecast for me yesterday was just cloudy. I didn't mention anything about brightening of the skies or any pokes. Not today. I said more clouds and sun.
That works.
Which by the way, is an Alan Casper term.
Right.
We learned how to do this the semantics of forecasting. Alan was.
Well, wording is important.
Yeah. I mean, instead of saying what does variable cloudiness mean? More clouds than sun. That's
right,
that's basically
or more sun than clouds.
Or more sun than clouds.
And then of course you got this next little diver that comes in for Sunday night into Monday morning with a couple of showers with that, and then out that goes. And if you look, by the way, in the lower right, that is, I know I mistakenly said Otis. I was maybe channeling the Andy Griffith show last night, or Otis Elevator. But no, that is Oscar. That may be Tropical Storm Oscar, which the Hurricane Center now is looking at disturbed weather, which we actually have a shot of out in the Atlantic. Now, this is pretty far out, folks. So we're talking out at about 46 or 48, between 46 and 48 west, and between roughly 22 and 26 degrees north. It has become more concentrated, and the Hurricane Center now says there's a 90% chance of this developing into a tropical depression or a tropical storm or a subtropical storm anytime in the next 5 days. So the models all seem to do something with this in terms of development. Now, as far as track is concerned, most of the hurricane tracking models never get this back further west than, say, 60, 61 degrees west, although the late afternoon GFS and a couple of other models wanted to make it a run more towards 70 west in the long range. But you know what? I don't really, right now, it's the Noreaster that's front and center, and we don't even know if this is going to develop much beyond what it is now, but we'll see. But in the meantime, we'll just stay focused on the
what was the name of the
on the Noreaster for Friday night and Saturday.
What was the name of the hurricane in '91 that was absorbed by the Halloween storm? There was a little hurricane.
Oh my God! Was it a K storm? Why do I want to say a K storm?
Now the Rolodex in my head is going to be running from now until I run back into the run back inside.
Well, you know, this is easy enough to look up. We can look this up right now. So just hang on.
I think in the novel, A Perfect Storm, they made this hurricane out to be more than it really was.
Yeah.
That it was really just a kind of like what Oscar is going to probably be, like a minimal hurricane or whatever. And it just that storm, the so-called Halloween storm, just literally just grabbed that and ate it, and that was it.
Right. Let's see. We'll look it up.
These were things, folks, that we used to know right off the top of our head years ago, but the mind is the first thing that goes.
1991.
Okay, so there's Perfect Storm.
Okay, so we've got this on from Wikipedia.
And we
usually have a track here. You know what? We're going to have to read through this, as it probably mentions this. This really was something that backed in from the east,
right?
As I remember, they only referred to the system as an unnamed hurricane, and the Halloween Noreaster of 1991. All right, you know what? I gotta have to do.
We'll
some
have
research.
the answer for you tomorrow. Stay tuned. Unless some of you, somebody out there may very well have it.
Someone with a younger brain. Okay, because you know, ours on occasion doesn't work. Running through by the way, collective hello to everybody. Just to you know, sometimes we forget. We're trying to do this in a limited amount of time, but we got started a little earlier tonight. So a collective hello to everyone. So Jeanette Myers, any chance for heavy thunderstorms on Saturday? Thunderstorms with some heavy rain, as we said. Yeah, there probably will be some in the mix.
Right, nothing severe though.
Right, just that you'll hear the thunder and you'll say, "Oh, there's a thunderstorm going on."
As I said to Joe and to the rest of the staff, Addison Green and Brittany Boyer earlier today, I said, if this were January or February, we'd be calling for thunder snow. I mean, so why not call for a thunderstorm on Saturday and just be done with it? And it's one of those kind of situations where you're out and about, and all of a sudden, out of left field, boom! Sorry about that.
Yeah, if you do that again, just kind of turn your head.
Boom!
Thank you. Whoa. Mike Armando, did you know Long Island's North Shore has a snow belt? Yes, we've been talking about it for years. Finally, someone has listened. There is a snow belt. I'm well aware of it because I live right in the middle of it. Not making light of it, but you know, yeah, no, that's an actual, that is a real phenomena, and I've often discussed that at my library talks that I've done when we talk about how.
Hurricane Grace. There you go.
Oh, who got it? Who got it?
Jackie
McBelello. Thank you. Yes, Hurricane Grace. All right, John Sears has joined. Hi, John. Good night, John. Time for bed. Okay.
Gee, they only got up to G by the end of October.
Jason Kaplan always feel the nor'easter of '92 was worse for New Jersey. I remember that we did have a nor'easter in '92. It might have been
right. December
of '92.
Right. December 13th, 12 and 13th, 1992. That was a big storm. Even on Long Island, Joe. I remember on the Wantagh Parkway. I was living out in Levittown at the time. On the Wantagh, and also on parts of the all the interstate signs were like pushed down. They were just literally like knocked down. 70-mile-per-hour winds. It was incredible. And as we were pointing out,
I have vague. It's very vague in my head.
Well, you see, that was the winter. That was the year we had the big nor'easter in December of '92.
And then that was the superstorm in '93.
The superstorm '93. And in fact, we had nor'easters almost on a monthly basis.
Right. But the superstorm of '93, by the way, was the first storm to bring a 10-inch snowfall to New York City since the '83.
Right.
This is the '83 storm.
Right.
I believe it was the first.
The megalopolitan.
Right. I mean, that was in that long stretch of what I just often refer to as the 30-year snow drought.
And that was an ugly snowstorm because it was right on the verge of changing to rain. It was like concrete when it accumulated. It was like heavy, slushy, wet snow that took place.
Jim Moore, there's one extra P again. No strippers caught tonight, just stripers. Okay, correct. Very good. All right, let's see. And Decato, you're traveling to Pennsylvania on Saturday. Well, I would do it in the later in the day, and not early in the day, because of you're going to run into run into rain all the way there, and some of it will be on the heavy side. By the way, elevated areas in the upper Hudson Valley and going toward Vermont, New Hampshire, and maybe even into some of the northern parts of the Berkshires, you might get some wet snow out of this for a while.
Yeah, I would not leave it completely off the table at the moment. Certainly, that you don't want to be surprised. This storm looks like it'll have most everything.
And by the way, we should emphasize nothing happens overnight here. Obviously, nothing happens during the day tomorrow. Look for the rain. The northern edge of the rain will probably be somewhere between, say, 195 in New Jersey and Route 78 at around, I don't know, about 8 o'clock or so. And then by midnight, it should be up by you, up north of Route 84, over Long Island, and into Connecticut. And, figure a good solid 12 hours worth. And by the way, for the coast, in terms of winds, should be every bit of there'll be at least a few hours where the winds along the immediate coast will be every bit of 30 to 40 with gusts over 50 for both New Jersey, coastal New Jersey, and Long Island. But I'm talking right along the immediate coast and the South Shore and the East End. Some stronger winds will penetrate just inland for a few hours, but the absolute strongest are going to be right on the beaches.
I'm hoping that days like what we're expecting on Saturday. I like to do a lot of freelance writing, and I've got some stuff that I'd like to take care of on Saturday. And, of course, naturally, with the threat of wind, I'm probably going to end up losing power. So it's a no-win situation. And hopefully that will not happen for me, and it will not happen for many of you as well. But it's something that we also have to mention is the potential of some tree limbs down, tree branches, power lines for those few hours early on Saturday.
All right, so we'll be back tomorrow night for all of this. And you and I will go at it again to finish off the week.
Addison?
Yes, it was Addison.
You see, he just left here a couple
Addison,
hours
you
ago.
need to go to sleep. You have an early day tomorrow. And I just saw my buddy Phil Buzz was on here. There he is. Yep, safe home, bud. Don't worry. Everything will be good.
Well, more likely, better to say that tomorrow night. As the stuff, and Joe, you look at the maps and you say, all right, the rain shield, the leading edge will be here, here, here. But we're dealing with a kind of a situation where, by bringing in some of that moisture out ahead of the storm from off of the Atlantic, we might actually see not necessarily a straight line shield or edge of rain, but we might see places like breaking out, little blobs here.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up. So let's leave it at that. We'll be back tomorrow night at 9:15 for the last one, Joe and Joe show for the week.
Addison is off tomorrow.
Oh, Addison is off tomorrow.
That's why he could stay up.
Oh, now we understand. That's right, I forgot.
So that means
Brittany Borer will be here.
Will be doing solo
by herself, covering everything in this storm situation, while Addison selfishly takes the day off and just disappears, so that no one can find him. Turn your phone off.
No, let's put it all in perspective. Addison is off tomorrow, but he will be on.
Right, he's working Saturday.
On Saturday.
I'm teasing. Addison knows that.
Addison is going to be in the teeth of the Noreaster. Actually, if this plays out, Addison will be coming in just at the Noreaster is going out. So
right, which is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Brian Fitzgerald, Jeff Banson on in the morning. Brittany Borer will be on midday, and then you'll be back tomorrow evening for Hudson Valley. I'll be back tomorrow night for Long Island and New Jersey. Have a good night, everybody. If you want additional information, I put a link up to my site on the Patreon platform, and you can also check out the latest on meteorologistjoechaffee.com. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you on Noreaster Eve tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yes.